Okay, so let's have a quick look at a setup that I kind of covered earlier on in the week. The Top-light thing here kind of got some traction earlier on in the week with this. I used the Pavoslim here, and in fact these were the images that you saw a second ago, or one of them. And yeah, so kind of talk about that, and then I followed up with this one, which got a lot of traction, which is something that I shot years ago now, and people were kind of asking about it, about the setup and that sort of thing. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity just to kind of quickly go over that, and then we can kind of make that standalone video as well. So this was the setup from last week that I shared, to Technique Tuesday that I shared. Very basic. The principle of it kind of being was that these LED panels are great in terms of shooting from home, right? So low ceiling stuff. So I was talking to Sin at the start of this live stream about how far away the light can be, and LED panels can bring them in super close, have that very fast drop off of light. As a bonus, that also means that you don't need as much distance behind the model or above the model if you're shooting with a top light. So here I'm using an example with a strobe and a softbox. Obviously you can't do it. This is a 2.4 meter room, which is pretty standard in Europe, or especially in the UK. So home studios and that sort of stuff. Here with a panel, tons of room, right? So that's what the premise of this article was about. Was really kind of talking about these top lights, how much space they take up, and how we can kind of get around that with these new panels that are coming out. Okay. So the other article that people were kind of asking about was similar with regards to these, light above, light from below, and that sort of thing. And I'd actually forgotten how I'd shot this. So this is kind of interesting because we see here, when I found this on my website, I was like, what was going on there? Yeah, so I've forgotten how I did this, but it does kind of make sense because I was curious at the time as to how I managed to avoid clipping the reds on the floor. When I was looking at the images, when I shared them again, like I said, I shot this a couple of years ago, right? So I'm looking at this going, it's beautiful tones here, not clipping the reds, they're dropping off beautifully up the body. I'm looking at it going, yeah, I don't know. And so apparently it was done with tubes. So again, I'm talking about the light drop off here in this article. Again, LED panels and light drop off, and how flashes emanate from a centralized spot, whereas LED panels spread it over a larger area, which means that you can get those lights close to the subject, therefore faster drop off of light, right? And this kind of, talking about the tubes here as well. So if we have larger light sources like LED panels and tubes made up of lots of small lights, they put out an even wall of light. Compare this to a singular point of light like a flash, which produces an explosion, quite literally, of light from a centralized point. One produces soft and even light, and the other produces hot spots of light. So this is the big kind of learning curve that I think photographers who shoot flash switching to LEDs are kind of overlooking. And I think that it's possible to get some truly beautiful light with LEDs that kind of just literally weren't possible with flash previously, right? So this is a setup that I've got here. So essentially what I've got is I've got a Rotolight EOS in there. I've built this this kind of light box, which I'll show you in a second, and then I've got tubes around the model at her knees, essentially. So here you go. This is the setup, right? So EOS is in there. I've built this kind of light tent above, channeled, and then that's what it's doing. And then this is the thing, this contraption that I built above. So yeah, this is the frame thing that I made for it. And really all this is doing is, this is before I had panels, LED panels. So with the Pavoslim, you could probably get away without doing this. So I'm using the Rotolight, and then which is still a panel, but it's small compared to the longer Pavoslim, right? So I still was trying to spread the light quite quickly, and the only way to do that is with several layers of diffusion, right? So I'm layering up this diffusion, and then I'm putting this black tent over it to keep it controlled, especially in a low ceiling might be able to see here, right? So very, very soft light from above and kind of channeled through this black tent above it, okay? Which results in this beautiful drop-off of light. Just beautiful drop-off, right? Not clipping, but just falling down the body, just gorgeous. And the tube's doing the same thing on the floor here, just creating this beautiful kind of warm glow from beneath, which is very difficult to do with flash because you're a centralized point. You can't put the flash far enough away, and you could have her up on toolboxes and that sort of stuff, and you could probably emulate it like that. But if she sat down here in like a normal studio, it's very difficult to get that quick drop off, right? Because these tubes are just out of shot, right? Which means that they're going to be giving this very even spread all the way around, and then it's going to drop off very quickly, right? So when I say drop off, I mean drop off to shadow quite quickly, right? So that's how I was able to create this beautiful, just beautiful light. Yeah. Ironically, at the time, this was when I was organizing the exhibition in Paris, and they saw these images and they were like, we want to swap out some images. We want these in it. Like, they immediately like kind of grabbed them. I remember it. They literally, they were being shown there before they'd been seen anywhere else. But beautiful, beautiful light. And Sim, when I was talking to you earlier on about these rotor lights and how you're able to get this gorgeous drop off, very, very soft, beautifully soft. I think they're worth persevering with. I really do. Yeah. Again, the tubes is kind of a clever workaround. Oh, I actually show you like the problems with doing it with a softbox. Like, you can do it, but you're gonna get the caught with that kind of hotspot in the middle. And again, just doubling down on how the hotspot is going to be brighter in the middle and then have less drop off here. So I'm just kind of simulating the results. Yeah. If I could give any new photographers any tips at all, is to shoot BTS of everything you do, right? You don't have to share it, and ideally you want to shoot BTS on the camera that you shot the actual shoot with, right? Don't just shoot it on your phone, because they're not going to be paired up, right? I cannot tell you how many times over the decades I've done a shot and gone, did I shoot that? Because when I saw this, I was like, that's a good idea. I was like, God damn, I'd totally forgotten that's how I shot that. I was like, I'm going to have to try that again, because it's super effective. So yeah, make sure you shoot BTS of all your setups. You don't have to share it with anybody. Do not share it with anybody. Keep it yourself, absolutely. But ideally, shoot it on the camera that you shot the actual images on, so that you have some way of keeping track of all the different hundreds of lighting setups that you'll have done over the years. Because trust me, I still get asked about certain setups that have been lost to the annals of time. So yeah, beautiful shots. Love the shots. Really happy with how they came out. Obviously, this model is perfect for it. Seda is absolutely perfect for it with her practically white platinum blonde hair here. But yeah, look at that DIY softbox. Love to see it. Importance of having BTS. Absolutely, Gripes. 100%. Yeah, would that setup be possible with Flash? So hopefully some of the things I've just gone over there, and maybe put that right at the start before I read the comments, but hopefully that what I've kind of covered there helps a little bit. Maybe if you were doing this with Flash, maybe you could put a beauty dish in here, because those beauty dishes have those diffusion cones, right? So like you'd have your strobe here, right, and then you'd have your beauty dish on it. Here, the diffusion cone in the middle is going to help to break up that hotspot. So it could be worth trying it. But yeah, just using a regular softbox is not going to give you the same results. It's just not. You can get close. But if you want this beautiful beautiful drop off. You've got to find some way to spread that light evenly and get it close enough to the model without it being in shot so that it drops off very quickly. Yeah. Jake is building himself a softbox. I know, right? I know. Yeah, that's it. You need a proper softbox. None of these crappy ones that you buy at the store. You need a proper one. I need 8 layers of diffusion minimum. I genuinely think that could be folded back 4 times. That is, I have, you can still see the hotspot there, right? But I've tried to spread it out as much as possible. I'm sure what those stains are. best not to ask. Yeah, best not to ask. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers some questions I got this week or last week, whenever it was, over the weekend, whenever it was, when I shared these images, which seem to be very popular, and glad that they were.